Coming up, more than 2,000 people stand in the heat in a line that stretches down the block. Find out what they were waiting for. Plus, a special family tradition. The connection these brothers have spanning 10 years. And fall sports hit the ground running. The new faces on the sidelines at 2 high schools and why one of them may seem familiar. Welcome to Inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Jessica Moss. The beginning of the school year can be a hectic time for families, whether it's buying school supplies, getting immunizations, or working out transportation issues. Parents have a lot of challenges to overcome. With that in mind, the school district teamed with community partners for an event that turned out to be much bigger than anybody imagined.
Wow, there's a lot of energy.
That's putting it mildly. On a day when temperatures hit the mid-90s, more than 2,000 people lined up outside the Boys and Girls Club. Vancouver Public Schools partnered with other public agencies and businesses to offer the Go Ready Readiness Festival.
There's a lot of need, and we try to remove every obstacle possible.
They have shoes here and backpacks and clothes for younger kids.
We have some sports physicals and immunizations and some dental screenings for the children. That's all free.
I'm getting a haircut and I got a jacket, and that's really it for right now.
And that's just some of the services offered. It's all to make sure kids are ready to learn from day one.
Just put yourself in a situation where you don't have a backpack, you don't have pencils, glue sticks, etc., and you're the only child in that classroom that doesn't have your supplies. Feeling shy, feeling embarrassed, you don't want to be there because you're not fitting in. So this event helps kids just get over that and help them be like everyone else.
The huge turnout demonstrates the need in our community.
Mom can't stay at home anymore. Either we're single parents or you need 2 incomes just to make ends meet anymore. So we need more programs like this across Washington State, pretty much all over the United States, to be honest with you.
But the Go Ready event also demonstrates the willingness of our community to help one another.
We have so many great community partners that have stepped up to the table, and countless volunteers who are just rolling up their sleeves, saying, where can I help?
Despite the long lines, the attitude from most was surprisingly upbeat.
It's a fun opportunity, but it's a long wait outside and around the building, so get here early for next year.
Families leave with supplies or vouchers to be redeemed later.
A lot of grateful families, a lot of smiling faces on children.
It's fun. I mean, it's okay. It's a fun thing to be at.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, so here's some of the raw numbers. 2,128 people came. They collected 351 pairs of shoes and 600 backpacks stuffed with school supplies. They got 50 haircuts and 51 vouchers for haircuts. A bunch of kids' clothes, including more than 500 pairs of socks, went home with the families. And because of the heat, people drank more than 1,500 bottles of water. All of these supplies were donated, and we'll have the full list of donors at the end of this episode. Every family has its traditions. It can be just about anything, how they spend the holidays, passing down heirlooms, or in a skill or trade. At Skyview High School, one family has made leadership its tradition. Nick Vole has their story.
Is there anything else that we need to do surrounding the creation of cards?
The Skyview student leadership team meets on a Tuesday morning, planning their next project and doing team building exercises. In the middle of it all is the new ASB student body president, Thomas Goodwin.
My goals are to make people get excited about coming to Stuff for Skyview again and excited about being, part of the storm.
But accomplishing those goals are only part of Thomas's burden.
The Commons here at Skyview is like any other high school. There's constantly new faces, whether it's students or teachers. But here at Skyview, one thing has remained constant over the last 10 years. There's almost always a good one in the building.
You see, Thomas is the youngest of 4 children, all of whom went to Skyview. The eldest Goodwin, Philip, was in Thomas's shoes as ASB president 10 years ago.
Thomas grew up in the shadow of not only Philip, but also his sisters, and I think had really big shoes to fill.
That's right, Thomas's two sisters also served in student government.
Watching them, the path was before him, and I think it gave him the confidence he needed.
Confidence is just one shared attribute among the Goodwin siblings.
Dedicated, funny, spirited, a great family, truly a great family, and great students.
As ASB president, Thomas looks to his older brother Philip for inspiration, despite their 10-year age difference.
So mainly what I've learned from him is that really as president, you're not above other kids. Your job is to just make the school feel more friendly to them and make them more excited about the school. And so I've learned that all it takes to really be a leader is just make people feel like they're wanted.
The act of inclusion is a lesson Philip shared with Thomas from a young age.
Even though Philip was 10 years older, from the time Thomas was like 1 year old, he would play next to Philip. Like if he's building Legos, he'd let Thomas play with, couldn't put them together, but he'd be making the sounds of running them through his hands.
A couple times he took me to school in his backpack when I was little, and so I kind of got a feel for the school and for how he made kids feel good.
He grew up at Skyview, basically. He came in from the time he was a 4-year-old and knew the halls and the teachers and the staff.
And now, after a lifetime of preparation, Thomas is ready to lead the entire student body, like Philip before him. And little brother is taking big brother's advice.
Don't take myself too seriously, and that my job is to serve.
Thomas is the last Goodwin to pass through Skyview, but the family's legacy remains, much as Skyview stays with the family.
I think it makes this really feel like home for us, and it has been for this whole time.
Inside Vancouver Public Schools, I'm Nick Vole.
A new school year brings a new opportunity for you to get inside Vancouver classrooms. Sign-ups have begun for the first Patron Tour of the year. Start your day with coffee at the Bates Center, then climb aboard a school bus. You'll tour classrooms at least 2 schools and learn about the programs and people who make them unique. Then you return to the Bates Center for a lunch prepared by Fort Vancouver High School's culinary arts students. The tour is free and lunch is just $4. The first tour of the year is on November 7th. Head to the district's website to sign up. Back to school means more than just a return to the classroom. It means a whole new season of fall sports. Fort Vancouver and Hudson's Bay kicked off the fall football season with their annual rivalry game. The teams typically play this game at the end of the year, but moved it to the first week this season. Fort Vancouver led by 6 points at halftime, but Hudson's Bay made some key plays down the stretch and took home the coveted Peace Pipe plaque, winning 20-19. The Peace Pipe game was the first broadcast of the year for Fort Sports, the district's sports broadcasting program. It was also the first ever live high-definition event in the history of TV Etc. If you're seeing this on Comcast, TV Etc. is the channel you're watching right now. Fort Sports has a full schedule of live broadcasts this fall, including both boys and girls sports. You can see a list of the upcoming games at the school district website, www.vansd.org. That live Fort Bay broadcast was the beginning of something new for us as broadcasters and for the teams on the field. Both of them are starting the season with new coaches. For Fort, it's Cal Sieber, who returns as head coach after 3 years in Oregon. Bay is taking a new approach altogether. Jake Sundell has more.
1, 2, 3, guess what? We're very excited. We've got more talent than we had when I was here before.
Cal Sieber is excited because after 3 years as the head coach for Portland Christian High, he'll be taking over the football program at Fort Vancouver High School.
The experience on this staff is phenomenal. I think we've got 4 guys with over 25 years experience on this staff. And you just don't find that in too many programs in high school today.
Fort administration asked Sieber if he would return to coach the team.
Coming back here was actually an idea. Dirk Hansen came to me and said, hey, would you like to come back? And you'll have full support of the administration. And thought about it over the weekend in March and said, yes, let's do this. He has a great vision for the program, for the school. Scott Parker's a great principal. It's just a different feel here at Fort Vancouver than it was 4 years ago, so we're pretty excited.
Fort Vancouver isn't the only team with new leadership. Hudson's Bay is now the first team in the Greater St. Helens League with 2 head coaches, Andy Meyer and Rick Skinner.
Well, I just think having extra body, 2 people to do the work of 1 person, I mean, that's a huge advantage, not only for us, but I think for our players as well.
Meyer is a former assistant football coach at Bay, as well as a former head basketball coach.
I love the kids at Bay, and I I'm ecstatic to be here.
Skinner resigned as the head baseball coach at Centralia College in order to return to Hudson's Bay.
We've had kids here all summer working hard in the weight room. We're really excited about the kids that we have and how hard and how dedicated they are to the direction we're giving them. A lot of the same strategies that I used as a coach, and I think Rick is going on his experience as a head baseball coach and kind of doing the same thing.
Thanks, Jake. All of the district's coaches began their work this summer at a training event at Skyview High School. From a variety of boys and girls sports, coaches came to learn about player safety, appropriate player-coach relationships, and a number of other topics. The Coaches Camp was sponsored by Vancouver Public Schools and is mandatory for all district coaches. A number of coaches from other districts also attended. Inside Vancouver Public Schools isn't just available on your TV or computer screen, it's also mailed right to your home. The print version of Inside VPS is headed to your mailbox later this fall. The district's communications team is putting together stories right now about the start of the school year and what's happening across the district. In the years past, the news magazine was called Report to the Community, but has a new name and new look this year. Make sure you take a look when it arrives at your home. We're out of time for now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Jessica Moss.